everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 25 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to go through 3 different methods that you can use to make coins all year in MUT 25. This has to be the #1 question that I get asked on a daily basis. What do I do right now to make coins? We're going to give you 3 different methods to go through and do all year. And I do want to drive the point home here that what I'm showing you, these are like the roots to making coins. So while we're going to use very specific cards in this video, you really need to pay attention to what we're doing and not what cards we're flipping or what sets we're completing to be able to accomplish this, because these numbers and these values and the cards you're targeting are going to change all year. So the first one is going to be flipping cards, which is pretty basic, and the majority of the time you're looking to buy low and sell high. If you see a card that's averaging, 100K, it sells on the auction house for 100K, you get it for 80K, you minus the 10% tax, there's a profit for you. And, again, it's a very general idea, but there's one unfiltered search method that I use every year, and I've made videos about this before, and it's helped a lot of people out. It's something that you can look to pretty much any day of the week, and it's going to be much better on promo days to make coins. So what I mean by that, right, when I say unfiltered, you have all of your filters over on the left. If I strictly just go to 82 to 83 overall cards, if you notice, it says 100 items found. There's more than 100 items at an 82 to an 83 overall right now that are on the auction house. Because there's so many, they narrow it down to just the top 100. So if I were to list one of these same cards, right now, unless you specifically set your filters to search for that exact card from that promo, that team, that overall, that player, it's not going to appear on this list. But there's a bunch of noobs out there, and some of you watching this video might be one of those noobs that are just going to buy these cards because they see them first. Now, I can tell you, I've tested this out just a few times this afternoon just to make sure it was still good to go. You can find these cards for much, much cheaper than these values, but people are going to be out there actually buying them. Now, I do also want to kind of add an asterisk next to everything with the price floors that EA implemented earlier, and they've lowered them, and there's still some right now. It can make some of these cards being a little bit more difficult to find and sell, but as the year goes on and that price floor lowers, and most specifically like 80s, 81s, 82s, 83s start to become more irrelevant, those are the cards that you're actually going to want to flip. So basically, we have this unfiltered search, and I usually kind of look for a base price to sell these specific overalls, and what I've been using this afternoon are 82 overalls at about 50K. Now, there's a few outliers here that are shortly under that, but for the most part, these cards are selling for 50K at an 82 overall. Before I go through and kind of do a live demo, I want to show you, we want to show our work here that we were able to sell some of these cards for 50,000 coins. So we got the top 3 right here, and then there was one more that I sold. If you look, I purchased all of these cards for about the same price, right? Because of that price floor that's taking place right now, I sold them or bought them for 42,187 coins, and I sold them for 50K. Now you got to factor in the tax, of course, but flipping these 4 cards at those exact values each time, I made 2,813 coins, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the more that you do this, the more that it's going to add up and the more coins that you're going to make. And if you're kind of just starting this method out, you might not want to start with cards that are that high in price. You might want to go to like 80 overalls or even 79 overalls. But again, you just want to go with an unfiltered search, and we can see right here on average, 80s are selling for 23,187. So you could round that number down and say, you know what, I think I can get 80s to sell for 23K. You're going to want to minus that 10% tax, do the math there, and then it's up to you on that profit margin that you want to make. I'm going to go back to the 82 overalls because what I did, and we're going to adjust our numbers this time, I'm going to try to sell them for 49K. So I know 49,000 coins. If I can sell a card for that amount, minus the tax, we're going to get back 44,100 coins. Now, I want to try to make at least, we'll say, 1,000 coins per flip. So that means we want to target cards for about 43,100 coins. And as I showed you in those examples, we were definitely able to do that. Now, right now, the very specific cards that I'm going to be looking for are for the Ultimate Preseason promo, and boom, you can see right here, 42,187. So what I'm going to do is buy this card right now at this price. We're going to list it at 49K, and this is something you have to pay attention to what I'm about to say. You have to list these cards for 1 hour, otherwise they're never going to show up on the auction house until they get down to like under 20 minutes or so left of time on the auction house. And number 2, you just have to be aware that these cards are not going to sell right away. They might not even sell at all the first time around. At that point, you're going to have to relist them, but we're going to go 49,187. So now when this card sells, we're going to make a little bit over like 2,000 coins again. And that's really the main method. But again, I want to stress, for now, you can target 82 and 83 ultimate preseason cards. But a month from now, you're obviously not going to be targeting these the same exact cards. You're going to be specifying on the overall. If we go up, we get higher overall cards throughout the year, you're going to go to 84s and you're going to say, wow, these are selling for about 110K each. If I sold one for that price minus the 10% tax, I would get 99K back. Let me see if I can go find these 84s for about 97K. So now you got about a 2,000 coin profit every time you flip out, or every time you flip one of these cards. So find your baseline with the overall and no other filter than that, minus the 10% tax, then minus whatever you want to make a profit, like a minimum profit. I usually shoot for about 1,000 coins per flip, and then that's the number that you're going to target. Once you find that targeted number, and I'm going to go back over to 82s and 83s, again, you can just sort specifically by the program, like I showed you, in October, we're going to have the most feared promo. You could just search through all the most feared cards at that given overall, or you can just go through each position. So what I kind of started to initially do was I went to quarterback, nothing good there. I went to halfback there, 47K, we're not really at the value that I want. I went to wide receiver. This is where I came across Josh Downs, and I noticed, hey, there's a lot of these Josh Downs cards up there. Let me go ahead and filter by ultimate preseason, and that's where I kind of started noticing that those cards were being frequent. I came across Donald Parham, and you'll kind of memorize these things as you go on. The center from this promo, Lloyd Cushenberry. We can even filter all defense and look for all of the cards there. Look, there's another one. There's a couple of them for 42,187. So I'm going to go ahead and buy it and then relist it at 49,000 coins. One other just quick thing before we move on to the next method. Be very, very careful doing this overnight, because a lot of times, for whatever reason, cards get cheaper going into the overnight period. They won't sell overnight, and then when you wake up in the morning and you try to relist them, the prices have changed. So again, you don't want to use a set number as your Bible every single time. You need to spot check these pretty much every day, almost every hour whenever you're doing this, because if prices rapidly shift, then you're going to have a bunch of cards that you thought you can make 1,000 or 2 coins off of every time that you flip them, and you're going to end up losing a lot of coins in that situation. Method number 2, and you're going to have to do the math and the work on this one, but it's very straightforward. Method number 2 is going out there and looking for item sets that you can complete for cheaper than the card sells outright. So what I mean by that is, if I can complete this Darrelle Revis 85 overall AKA card and then sell the reward card from the set for more than I paid to complete that set, we can find a profit. And you always have to factor in the 10% tax. And so how are you going to do that? Let's just say this card, this non-vintage Revis, because remember, there's a difference between these two. The non-vintage Revis, you feel pretty confident you can sell this card for 500,000 coins. It's also really good to check MUT.gg on these cards to see the average price in case there's a weird outlier going on and you're not confused on the pricing as well. But, let's safely assume we can sell this card for 500,000 coins. After tax, that would mean we get 450K. If you can go out and build that same set for this card for about 430K or 440K and then sell it after the tax, you're looking at a 10 to 15 or 20,000 coin profit. Again, depending on how cheap you can build out the set versus how much you can sell the card outright for. And it's not going to be great when it comes to these singular promo cards like AKA and Legends. And I mean, sometimes Legends it is, right? Like on a Saturday, new Legend packs come out, and a lot of times people forget about the Legends that came out the weekend prior, and so you can see people opening up packs and getting all these set pieces for those cards and listing them for dirt cheap. Saturday mornings are a really good time to target this type of method where you're building a set and then selling the card. So if you can snipe the pieces that go into a set, whether it's a Legend, an AKA, a specific promo, maybe not Season of Boom, but a specific promo down the road, if you can snipe the pieces that go into the set, because pack offers just came out for that very specific promo and build that card well under the normal market value, and again, then sell it factoring in the 10% tax. It's a really good method, but you also want to take a look, like for example, tomorrow, and I don't know at what point a lot of you are watching this video in the year, but tomorrow we have Team Builder Team Builder promo coming out, and Team Builder sets are usually pretty involved, like 5, 6, 7 cards that go into the set. So the more cards that go into the set, the better opportunity to try to snipe more of those cards if they're kind of not all the same. Like with these, with a Chris Johnson, you got 4 general cards that are kind of all the same, and then the one very specific card to this set that you need to get it done. The more wild cards, the better, because that's more opportunity to find those cards or snipe those cards for a lot cheaper than they're normally going. And you basically just have to add up what it would cost you to build this set, total that up, see if it makes any sense to build the set before you actually do it. And if it does, then you go out and sell that card after you complete the set. After the 10% tax, you got your profit margin there. Again, on this one, I cannot do the work for you. It's more so just giving you the tools and the ideas and the thoughts on what you need to do and what you need to look for throughout the year to be able to make coins. These are going to be the most consistent methods. I know maybe some of you were watching this video looking for very specific answers. That's just not how it works. Now, we will have methods throughout the year that do pop up, and they'll be good for a couple days or two. And of course, we'll make videos when those things come along. But if you're looking to consistently make coins, those are 2 of the best ways. The third one literally is just playing the game. I know this sounds very stupid to a lot of you, but if you simply just play the game, you can make a lot of coin. If you're good at the game, you want to go through these head-to-head seasons. You got MUT champs, you got the gauntlet game mode, which I can't show you right now because it's not available. Head-to-head rank does give you coin rewards per game, and you get rewards when you go up to a new tier, and you can get good card rewards from this one, but it's not consistent for coins. Without a doubt right now, head-to-head seasons is the best game mode for coins, mainly because there's 3 different divisions, and as you can see, I'm in the veteran division. If I can just win 5 games before I lose 3, we get 20,000 coins as like the bonus reward. We also get an additional 500 coins per win, and if you're able to make it up to legend, which literally is making the playoffs 2 times in a row, you're going to get bumped up to legend. You get 3,000 coins per win, and not only do you get that, you get 30k for winning the 5 games if you can do that before you lose 3. Now, I can't show you the payouts when you get into the playoffs or winning a Super Bowl, but those coin amounts per game and for making the playoffs and for making the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl, they go up. I can tell you offhand, the veteran reward for winning a Super Bowl, you get your choice of either a couple packs or 75,000 coins. You need to take the coins every single time. If you can get to legend difficulty or division, which I did, and then unfortunately I lost and got demoted, there's a big difference. Like legend is pretty sweaty. Every game that I played was really sweaty. Veteran kind of seems like a little bit of a cakewalk. So if you can live in this veteran area, you can get some pretty good rewards and usually not face the sweatiest of competition. But if you can win Super Bowls and legends, if I remember correctly, the payout was like 150,000 coins, or you have the option to take some packs. Again, take the coins every time. But my overall point here is that head-to-head seasons right now is a really good game mode to play through and make coins. Champs is good if you can win, I'd say, at least 50% of your games. You get to play 20 games every week. Whatever number you win, whatever total of wins that you land on after those 20 games or after that weekend is the prize that you get. So if you can go 50% and win 10 of your 20 games, you get 50k in 2 red zone packs. The packs have not been very good so far to start the year. As we get more promos, maybe they get a little bit better as more cards get put into circulation. And if you can win like 12 out of your 20 games there, I mean, 70k is not a bad payout as well. Obviously, if you can get to 16, you get a really good payout, and you also get a gauntlet entry token, and that's going to put you into a game mode for free where you can even earn more coins based on the number of games that you can win in a 10-game span before you lose 2 games. If you don't like playing online, I kind of have bad news for you unless something changes. And by the way, there's one of the cards in our very first method. It just sold. I'm glad that happened so I could show you that, you know, it's not a hoax, right? This is actually an actual method that you can use all year. If you're not really comfortable playing online, my first piece of advice is get out there and just try it anyway. It might not be as bad as you thought. I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me throughout the years and said, Pop, I'm glad you kind of convinced me to play champs or head-to-head seasons. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Now I'm making some decent coin. The other option is solo seasons. Stay far away from the amateur version. This one, the payouts are awful. Ultimate solo seasons is not great. I'm hoping it gets better. Hopefully EA adjusts it. The biggest thing it's missing right now are coin rewards. It's really good for packs, but the packs most likely are not going to give you a lot of good stuff in return. So if they up the coin rewards in this, or they start giving out a per game coin amount as well, every time you win, this will be much better. And if you want to see like a bigger, deeper breakdown on not only solo seasons, but solo battles and all the free packs that you can earn from that, yesterday I put out a dedicated video on all of that. I don't want to go through it again. In this one, it would just be way too repetitive. So we're going to link that video down below in the comment section as a pinned comment. But again, just to recap, you can use the unfiltered flipping method. You can build sets for cheaper than the card is selling outright and try to make profit that way. And your third option is either head-to-head seasons or solo seasons, depending on, you know, your level of comfortability playing in those specific game modes. But those are three things that you can do all year to make coins for your MUT 25 squad. And as we get more methods that come along, we got you covered with videos. If this one helped you out, click that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.